Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me today. Today's live is inspired partly by Atomicon 2026, which is an amazing sales and marketing conference for small business owners, and also because I applied to run a workshop at WTM this year on this topic. So wish me luck, comment on the post, share it with your friends, and show how exciting this topic is, okay? So my argument is that things today are a little bit too easy. We could do with having things be a little bit harder. Like a diamond formed under pressure, humans often do our best creative work and our best creative thinking and leveling up of our mindsets when there is a bit of friction, when we need to be a bit gritty, or when we have to find a new way to do something. So the question today is frictionmaxxing, and asking the question, do we need to take a step back from AI so we can take a big leap forwards? A lot of today's live is inspired by some of the amazing speakers I saw at Atomicon last week, and also from my work with founders and commercial leaders in travel and hotel tech. There is such a broad spectrum of using AI, and I've seen both ends of it in my clients. From teams who are only just beginning to have their calls transcribed and summarized, to those who create websites, pitch decks, and fully automated workflows using LLMs and AI agents. I think we all know by now that using AI and automations can help us work faster, remove repetitive tasks, but are we losing something because of that? But not using it for those repetitive tasks and that SOP-based work means we're wasting time. So here's the tea, here's my opinion, informed by a few different interesting speakers I've seen. Anne Handley, speaking at Atomicon, used the hilarious metaphor of a villainous cow and a heroic sloth from an episode of Mighty Mouse to really hit the point home, or should I say wallop the point home. The speedy cow represents the overuse of AI, with a lack of proper human oversight. So unfettered use of AI for everything leads to silly mistakes, hallucinations, and a total homogeny of thought as well. So Anne shared the example of Deloitte in Australia, who charged $440,000 for a government white paper, only for it to turn out that most of the expert sources were completely imagined by the LLMs. And we've probably all seen those LinkedIn posts that start with, sure, here's a 100-word post, or they end with a helpful sounding, would you like me to make this more punchy or more professional? And beyond looking a bit silly when that happens, Anne explained that overuse of AI breaks your trust with your audience or network because they can't connect with you through that veneer of AI language. It means that you accept mediocrity and averageness in your own work, and you become fast, busy, and visible, but totally indistinct from the crowd. And I would argue that in marketing especially, outsourcing our thinking takes us further away from understanding our customers and speaking to them in the voice that they recognize. How many of you have read a website that sounds perfect, but just not perfect for you? And in sales, a reliance on AI can reduce our confidence and our savviness to read other humans and close a deal. I've seen this firsthand in the travel tech startup founders that I coach. They might have super swish websites, amazing technology that hotels could really do with, a great investor deck, but they don't feel confidence in their product. They don't trust themselves to sell, and they miss important human signals in body language and in words that show them opportunities or maybe where they need to reevaluate. There is definitely a time and a place for us to connect human to human, use our gut instinct and our human experience to make decisions, and at the same time upgrade our mental operating system. Because when we do the hard work of sitting and thinking, maybe even with a pen and paper, not with a spreadsheet or a pitch deck, we access parts of our brain connected to creativity, learning, and also emotion. We can see clearly where we feel ready and raring to go, and where things feel a little bit sticky or cringy. So one of my clients just last week shared that he finds sales really cringy, especially of his new product. And after one coaching session, we reframed the process of selling, and now he's excited to sell his product. The difference is night and day, and you can't outsource that to AI. You can't just say to AI, how do I feel more confident? So when we ask Chatty or Claudia to create something, of course we make the prompt, there is some creativity, but we don't make all those connections in our own brains. And let's not forget that the LLMs are the average of the average. So the output will look professional and neat and hopefully correct. But humans don't connect with professional and correct. They need to see a bit of their own messy in there to know that you understand them. Another interesting angle, which was discussed at ITT Malaga, sadly I wasn't actually there, it looked amazing, was to question if we're also stifling our own talent pipeline of the future by removing those entry-level travel roles and replacing them with AI agents and workflows. Travel and hospitality are already chronically understaffed. I think it's 30% understaffed around the world, especially in frontline roles. And I would argue that those frontline roles are seen as undesirable precisely because they are repetitive and boring. And you're dealing with customers who may not be happy and you don't have the tools to keep them happy. So while AI might replace a lot of tasks, I would argue that winning businesses won't remove the jobs, but instead will focus their time on upskilling the teams to deliver real hospitality or great account management or great sales. Essentially, to stop seeing frontline teams as like disposable cannon fodder who need to sink or swim and kind of deal with the shit shoveling, I can't wait to see which businesses step up to the plate and treat their frontline staff as the talent funnel that they actually are. So where should you use AI? A handy checklist, which I got from David Lyons. Again, he was an Atomicon speaker. Anything in your business which is really repetitive and predictable, where the same thing happens every time. Anywhere that you can write out an SOP or a flow chart, like a decision tree, where they're the only things that will happen, the only outcomes, that's a great place to use AI. Any processes with no nuance at all, no judgment needed. So normally not something where an important customer can be won or lost, or money can be made or lost. And remember that you can and should have human oversight. So for example, you can have it write a draft email rather than send the email, or create an alert rather than make a decision. Matt Well from Muse said on a recent podcast with Thibaut Catala that AI processes have to earn our trust, and this is a good way to start. Have them suggest to you what they want to do so you have human oversight. And where you should use your brain is when interacting with real people, especially on non-repetitive tasks, when trying to understand your clients and get closer to them. So during client meetings, you could do client interviews to really understand how they use your product. When you're networking, and of course, I hope when you're networking, no one's using AI, but I feel like it's worth saying that it's a good human practice to do. And when creating a strategy to stand out, because AI is the average of the average and will never come up with an original idea. If you want to stand out and do something different, you have to use your brain to connect the dots. So Sean Kanungo, who was another speaker at Atomicon last week, shared a really great metaphor that I loved, which is that there is a black hole of AI mediocrity where people are using LLMs to outsource their thinking and using AI agents to deal with their clients even when it really matters. Your goal should be to have, on one side, the AI processes extremely slick to save you time and effort where it isn't needed, and that should help you be more human and actually add more friction when it matters to choosing your clients, to making things feel a bit messy sometimes. And the premium comes from that human interaction, human thinking, and operating of the AI agent. So your black hole of mediocrity is where you've just shoved it all in the middle and everyone's going to be there. So you need to stand out with great AI processes and great human premium interaction. And remember as well, as the human, you are operating the AI tools and the AI agents. So you can't get the stuff from the black hole and use it to operate the agents, or you'll be doing the same as everybody else is doing with the same tools. So as the operator of AI tools, you need to be having some wild ideas to implement. And to get wild ideas, you need a bit of friction, you need a bit of creativity, and you need a bit of downtime. You might need a coach to work with as well. You also need to embody and live inside the problem that you solve for your clients. If everything is out there on a pitch deck or a website, you're not going to feel it when you're talking to your clients, when you're selling or marketing to your clients. And also, you need to grow your confidence faster than you grow your business. Your business will only go as far as your head will take you. I know this because I'm doing the same work myself. And by outsourcing your thinking to AI, you're not upgrading your mindset at the same speed. I could have a business set up by tomorrow through vibe coding and using AI to write my websites. Would I believe in it? Absolutely not. You need the practice, you need the friction, you need the real life results to see that it works. If you'd like any help brainstorming creative ideas, getting over the sales feeling a bit cringy, or any other way that you want to upgrade your mindset as a founder, get in touch. It would be great to hear from you.